Hey everyone, can you hear me well? Can you? Yeah, you should be able to hear me well. Uh, okay. I might need to turn on the lights actually. Just a second. I don't even need to move out. Just get this in. There we go. That will be a bit better, I guess, for everyone. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today is a bit of a special day. As you've seen, we have our community stream starting a bit earlier, and this is pretty much because of my dogs. So actually, the stream today is gonna be a bit special because of my dogs. On one end, I need to bring my dog to the vet to get one of my dogs to get the yearly shots, um, and vaccines and such. And the thing is, I cannot do it any later because if I do it tomorrow, she won't be within the time frame to do it without having to redo it in just a few months instead of next year. So I kind of need to do it today, which forced me to have the stream start a bit earlier. But the other reason for that is simply that the other reason why it will make for a weird stream is that I have to leave one of my doors open because now we have the sunny days and beautiful weather, and this means one of my dog, one of my dogs, the whiny one, will pretty much want to be in and out and in and out all the time. So when it's during the afternoon, like it is right now, I have to leave that door open so that it can come out and in without whining because you would hear that a lot. But this means in case we are hearing too much background noise from streets or whatever, yeah, if you're hearing anything like this, just let me know and we will find a solution for that. Again, it's a bit of a strange stream today, but I still wanted to have it going today because we've had one already that was postponed and moved around. So I pretty much wanted to be able to run this one in um, in a Wednesday afternoon, as it should be pretty much. Anyway, so we'll start right away with the easy fight nights. And after that, I will be showcasing to you guys the um, the next feature we are adding into the game. So the next feature we will be adding into the game, Wheel of Fortune. I will talk about that in a second. But for now, everything is ready. So let's start with the easy fight nights. We have Lude, Hadouken, Aniviper, alternative account. We have Marzu TV. We have Rikies, Razan, Faceless. We have, you know, our familiar faces in there. So yeah, let's go with it. Oh, that's a strong army. Sorry, shouldn't be able to do too much against that. So, um, for those of you that might be wondering what was the feature that I'm referring to, the Wheel of Fortune is something you know from pretty much every single mobile game at this point, and it's fairly simple. It means every day in the store you will be able to roll a Wheel of Fortune for free. You have one roll every day that is just there for you, and you get a small reward. You have a chance at getting a very high value reward. Obviously, the lower rewards have a slightly more chances of being picked. So that's just the way it is. It will be rare that you get the top reward, but you will get it, even if you're just using your free try every day. There will also be one try additional if you're watching an ad. So you would have two spins of the wheel in total, one for free and one for watching an ad. And right now you have one of my dogs barking outside. Yeah, that's summertime. Sorry, guys. And if you still want to spin the wheel because the top reward in there is something you really want that really is important to you. You will be able to do that against a very small amount of gems. Ultimately, these kind of features, it's something quite standard from the industry. It's not hurting anyone because pretty much everyone will get something for free that they didn't have before. You can get something from watching an ad that you couldn't get before. And from time to time, you will get lucky and get something very nice out of there. Of course, for anyone that is planning on gems and want to go for it, that will be quite interesting. The main thing being that we want to be adding some cosmetics as the high value reward in there. So that means from time to time, you might get skins or you might get battlefield or portraits or stuff like that that will be available in the Wheel of Fortune as the high end, high value reward in there. And that's probably what most of you would use the Wheel of Fortune for outside of the free spin every day or free spins if you want to watch the ad. That would be, let's say, hey, actually the skin that there is today is one that I really want. Okay, maybe I will spend a bit of gems trying to get it because it would still most likely be cheaper than to wait for it to be available for gems. Or maybe I don't want to use my Eternite because it's not available via Eternite or something like this. So that's mostly what you can expect there. Now, there are a lot of other elements that are a bit more important and are currently coming into the game as well. We'll get through that in a second. I'm just checking. We still have a few players to go, so we're good with the fight. I don't need to stop anything for now. So what else are we doing at the moment? The first thing is optimizations to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, exactly what I was gonna be referring to. Uh, crashes. Right now, with the new UI, there are a few more crashes than usual, and that's something that we are working on and solving. And what you've been facing right now is one that is a bit more specific because um, there are specific units right now and power stone combinations. So basically, when you use the armor thrower and the void piercer power stone, you can have those kind of situations. I'm not using the void piercer power stones for that reason, but if I'm facing an opponent that has, it might be triggering this. Just a second, I will just check if the fight we had before it crashed went to the end or not. So that was, I can see that monitor, just a second. So the fight against Khazan ended, and so that was the fight against. Come on. Come on. Okay, so faceless. I will need to check if you received your reward or not. It is possible that you did not receive it, in which case I will obviously go and manually grant that to you. Let's go back to the fight nights. Let me just check. So if we go back in, we should be facing. Yeah, okay, we're back into it. Yeah, let's keep going. So, two things we're working on right now: the specific bug linked to Void Piercer and Armor Thrower, especially in the draw situations. That's something that will be fixed hopefully by tomorrow. For the Void Piercer Power Stones, what we are currently planning to do is to simply take the Power Stone out. And so those of you that purchased the packs to get this Power Stone, you will get compensation. I mean, everyone will get a compensation most likely because everyone made some purchases or tried to get some Power Stones anyway. So there will be a global compensation most likely for that. And we will take Void Piercer out until we can have it fully sorted because right now there's no easy fix, and we don't want to let you guys for a week or so facing any sort of crashes like this because of that. So that's the first part. The second part is that with the new UI that I'm currently using, some players have been experiencing more crashes than usual. So we released a new version that came out yesterday, but it's not rolled out yet to everyone. So it might still take a few days before it's there for everyone. And it already solves a lot of those issues. Not every single one of them. There are still some crashes happening. We have another release that will come next week, which will include more fix for the crashes and performance optimization. So, for example, the menuing when you go back and forth between menus will be faster. And we will also have a few changes, few bugs correction of stuff that were shared by our players as feedback. So that will be also addressed. Not everything yet for the changes like changing the position of an element or something like this. We have quite a few things we're working on, but obviously those need a bit more time. So those will come in a later release, but we're also working on those things. Okay, we still have rather big after that account and we should be good. Okay. So yeah, we are working on those crashes and such. Again, the main one right now is the one regarding the Void Piercer Power Stone, and that should be fixed hopefully by tomorrow. Then the few ones that are still there related to the new UI will be sorted very soon. And changes to the UI will also come quite soon. The release next week will mostly come with um, the Wheel of Fortune that I mentioned earlier, and with bug fixes um, of actual bugs. So there were a few issues that were brought up by players that were able to fix because those were proper bugs. So I know there was something with there were a couple of ones with the battle reports, sometimes showing error numbers. We had some where um, the number of titles you have is not reflected correctly uh, in the ranking and league rewards. So that's also some, well, not in the rankings, but in the league rewards. So that's something we're going to be fixing, and we have a few of those small optimizations coming already, which is showing as well that we're not done yet, obviously, with the new UI, and we are slowly moving with the fix that need to be there no matter what. Then we have some graphic optimizations based on the feedback we received, and based on the feedback we will ask, because we will be sharing with you guys a survey, most likely early tomorrow, to talk about the new UI. And from there, you will be able to um, check on everything we discussed. Oops, sorry, I went a bit too far with the fight night. Let me pause that, close the event. Yes, so we will check later on faceless, make sure that player received their rewards, and we will be preparing the other fight night in the meantime. Actually, I can check faceless until this fight is over. Okay, so let's move from this account to the hard one, and we'll see from there. So, okay, so we'll need a few things in there. Yeah, this is ready. Just checking that the army, yeah, okay. The army is properly saved because I had to rush earlier and I realized that, how you need to spin for your army to be saved. I spinned, but I didn't manage to wait until the end of the fight. So I was wondering if it still worked, but it seems like it worked. So that's kind of a good news, I would say. So anyway, so the Fright Night is ready. We can go live. Yes. Save things faint. There. We should be good to go. So we will have Ghostin, Forxign, Shiver, Nikolas, Saeed, AC 516, TheRootkit, Pataglu, and Ameer for the 10 first players. Okay, let's roll. And actually, we'll stop right there because I'm a bit stupid and I was gonna be starting that without showing you actually the Wheel of Fortune since we were talking about it. That would be a bit of a shame. But that's okay. First fight happened. So let me share that with you. There we go. You should be able to hear me out. So what I shared with you here is just a few things because technically it's a Wheel of Fortune. There's not so much I can share with you. I couldn't show it to you in game right now because the rewards that are attached to it are wrong. So I didn't want to give you wrong expectations as to what would be in there. Some of the stuffs were super wrong, like 1 gold or 1 gem, and it was just to display how it worked. But some of the stuffs were completely over the top, like super exclusive skins and stuff. So I needed to make sure I would just share with you the design of the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, you can see it in way bigger than you will ever see it in the game. Um, what is interesting with this Wheel of Fortune design is that it's still based on the color code and the whole visuals, obviously, for the game. And on the bottom left, next to the Wheel of Fortune text, you can actually see the icon and how it will look in terms of menuing in the game. You will basically just click this small icon and go to the Wheel of Fortune. So that's basically all I can share because for everything else, it's a um, very straightforward mechanism. For the time being, let's go back to the fight night. And there's a few things I still want to mention regarding the Wheel of Fortune. The first one is that right now it's a very basic design. If the Wheel of Fortune turns out to be successful and quite successful, as we've seen in countless other games as well, we might consider on the longer run to add levels to the Wheel of Fortune, which would mean that someone that wants to spend extra gems and such could level up their their Wheel of Fortune, and we could even think about doing this on a season base. So that means you would have an entire season to level it up, meaning that even someone that just uses the free token and the one for ads would have the opportunity to level it up to the level 2 or even more, because the deal would be that on the Wheel of Fortune, one of the reward would be to level it up. And if you level it up, then basically all the rewards you can get are a bit better. And so that would mean the people that are spending gems to go for this will eventually get better rewards than they currently do if they go with that. So that's one thing we could think about. The other thing we might be doing there is to have some specific events running with the Wheel of Fortune. So you could imagine having with the Wheel of Fortune something like on Christmas Day or something like this. Maybe we will change all the rewards to be super nice ones. So instead of sharing the same reward with everyone, we could basically just be putting only super nice and high value rewards on there, and just get you guys to play with it on for 1 day or something like this. So that's the kind of things we might be doing as an event from time to time with the Wheel of Fortune. One of the small benefits that we can use it for. Um, Outside of that, we have also the option to make you win tokens in events and stuff like that, so that you have more ways to collect that. So not necessarily in events, but that can be a small additional reward at some steps of the season pass or those kind of things. So there are ways we could extend this feature. For now, it's not necessarily planned because it will mostly depend on how good it performs and how much you guys are using it. If people are using it a fair bit, we might go and extend on it. If it's used just um, to the minimal, we will most likely just leave it as it is. It's anyway a win-win kind of feature, so it's perfectly fine to have it in there. But obviously, if it gets super successful, we might go the extra mile with it. Otherwise, we'll focus this energy on other stuffs. What are these other stuffs that I'm referring to? As you know, right now, our focus, as I said, is on the UI and get the final steps done, but also to get the commander bonuses out. The commander bonuses will be the big feature to come in the coming month because we want the change to happen thanks to the commander, the change of UI. So right now, as you know, we are not enforcing the new UI at all. And our idea is to make the new UI um, available for everyone and then enforce it to everyone once we've fixed, obviously, most of the issues and smaller stuff that were shared with us, but also once we have the commander bonuses, because at that point it makes a lot more sense to have the focus being so much on the commanders. So that's one thing we need to check. Um, I'm just realizing that this build from Pataglu is pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen someone blocking wagons this way. I think it's a clever use of it. I'm sure it's been done before or whatever, but yeah, personally, I've never seen it, and I think it's a quite clever way of using the wagons. Yep, I'm quite a fan. Quite a fan. Even if it ended up in a draw, I'm quite a fan of that design, Pataglu. I will not use it because I would end up with way too many draws, and the fight night would take forever. But it's a very interesting way of using them. And see, I'm still discovering some portraits. I was saying that the other time that I still discover portraits all the time. I just changed mine and I've never seen this one that I'm using before. But the one that Ameer is using right now, I've never seen it either. I don't think so. Probably I've seen it and didn't realize it, but yeah, it's just the way it is. So I hope we are not in one of those loops that I've been hearing about, and I think we are. Yeah, that might end in a draw that shouldn't be a draw. Yeah, I will have to check just that indeed. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So see, I believe that it's not actually Deathly Hallows that we were about to fight that triggered this failure. I am 99% sure that this is actually um, the fight the fight right before. So I think it's Amir's army that blocked the game and triggered then the crash, probably because of the Void Piercer. Not not 100% sure, but that sure seems like something like this. So we'll definitely look into that. And that means deathly allows as well. So just like faceless, I will need to check if you received what you should. Let me check on that. Yeah, we don't care about the free gold, but that's nice. Yeah, okay, we have a bug still there. Okay. Okay, what the hell is that? So let's see. We never had issues with Sam before. So I'm gonna be restarting the game. I hope we'll be able to get things sorted here. I don't really know what might have caused this. Hmm. Okay, so I can say, by the way, that I checked in the meantime and Faceless received the victory gems no matter what. I will check, but I would expect it's going to be the same for both Deathly Allows and for Sam. Um, let's see. Just a second. Okay. Okay, so let me check here. Doing a bit of setups. Okay, so sorry guys for turning around. I could see, I could hear my dogs being pretty much in the situations I said before, that my dogs would come back and forth, just being tired of being outside but still wanting it to happen. That's exactly what I suspected would happen, and it happened. Okay, so let me check how things went for Deathly Hallows right away. And then I believe that the best option will be to close and restart the remaining of events. Okay, so let's see. Where are we with that? Okay, so yeah, Deathly Hallows received the Fight Night rewards. I guess it's gonna be the same for Sam. Sorry guys, a bit of menuing and copy pasting and all of that, but I need to check just to make sure everything is going okay. That also leaves a bit of time for the game to catch up and not be stuck like it currently is, because if it gets stuck again, I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do. Okay, so it seems that every time there is a fight that doesn't go through, the player gets the victory reward, so that's perfectly fine. Okay, things seem to work as they should for Karun. Let's see. I didn't click on the auto spin yet because I wanted to be sure things are working before we get into auto spin. It seems like it's working now. So let's get back into it against the hack. Okay, so it seems like we're back on track and things should be working as intended. Let's hope for the best and let's hope we'll stay this way. If not, we know that the players are still receiving what they should. That's the most important part for me, obviously. So, sorry guys, I'm checking a few things just in the middle. Just want to make sure everything is working as it should, since it was a bit wimpy. By the way, starting with the next fight night, I decided now that I will have at least the common artifact leveled to level 6 because I see more and more of you with this. So anyway, since that will make up for my bad skills as well, I believe I should be able to go with it. I know some players already have their second or even the third artifact with level 6. Um, Actually, third, I'm not sure I've seen, but second for sure. On my side, I want to have just the first one to still be fair with the people that are not there yet, and the second one would probably come way later. Okay. I'm sorry, I keep my eyes on every element, checking the CPU, everything that I can check to make sure there's no crashes again, even though it's a bit stupid because it clearly is linked to the power stones and the new armor throwers might be also causing the issue, but yeah, we need to make sure we get things under control there. So in the meantime, as we were talking about the future of the game, when we last spoke, we were talking about the commander features and the bonuses, especially. So, Ace car, yeah, I have the evil displacer in this build indeed. I mean, now it's been nerfed. It's not as bad as it used to. Plus, I don't know if you've seen with the new um, patch notes we released, but we've also added some more ways to resist teleportation. Uh, if I remember correctly, that's the Archbishop. Yeah. So the Archbishop now is preventing allies nearby to be teleported. That's one of the things that makes Archbishop a bit more useful as well. So we are slowly helping players fight the displacer without making it completely useless either. Yeah, I believe that the Archbishop unit, with all the tweaks that have been done to it, is quite interesting. The only thing is you have to find ways to work around it and make the best out of it. But it seems to be quite interesting now. So we were talking about the commander bonuses. The point for us is that we want um, we want the commander bonuses to be the main thing that will drive people to the new UI. That's why we're working on that to come pretty much as the next big feature, and it should come quite soon. It will probably still be next month or something like this, but or at least, but we don't want it to take 3, 4, 5 months anyway, because we need people to move to the new UI as well. and that will be the best driver for that. Sky, you're saying that you found the bishop change peculiar as it's got such a large range. Its aura is basically never on anything. Yeah, that's a good one that we need to be considering for that, indeed. And so, yeah, regarding the commander bonuses, with the next Fight Night, next community stream, we should be able to share with you some details about how they will work more specifically. As of now, what I have as information is that you should have several ways to deal with the commanders. The idea is that the commander feature should be, on one end, um, something that allows you to act on the look of your commander, so the skins and such. But that is kind of accessory, I would say. The main point is obviously to unlock bonuses. And as far as I'm aware, the way I understood it is that there will be passive bonuses that you can progress through, like an actual skill tree for your commander. So you will need time to basically progress in all of the skill tree. And the other thing is that there would be bonuses that are much more like artifacts systems for the commander. They would apply to your entire army if depending on what they do, obviously, but they would be added to your commander, and they will come with their own leveling system, etc. So you will also see if you want to go with the bonuses from the artifacts, which can of counterbalance the choices you made for the skill tree. You know, if let's say in the skill tree you decided to go with something ultra offensive, maybe you will use artifacts that are actually counterbalancing that, or maybe the other way around, and you will decide, no, I want to make one of my commanders a super offensive, aggressive machine, and I want another commander that will be more of a defensive one, or something like this. That will be a position, a possibility you would have. And as far as I'm aware, for now, the plan is not to have a ton of commanders available, but just a few commanders, different skins that you can bring, and the the um, the skill tree and artifacts kind of system. I'm saying this; it's still very. Uh, it's not that it's open. It's basically that there were quite a few different things that were brought up, and I did not yet have the final decision on the technical side about what will be possible. One of the things that was brought up, for example, is equipments. So instead of having artifacts, even if it acts pretty much like an artifact, it could be equipment, which means that they also come with a specific design. And so it acts both as a skin and um, both a skin and an effect. So that could be something as well. There won't be too many bonuses either. So we are not likely to have an artifact system plus items plus a skill tree. That would be too much. Do you know if you would be able to reset the skill trees so you're able to try out different builds? Um, I'm not sure yet, but the way I understood it is that technically you can already try different builds because you will have your three commanders available anyway, which means you can have three different builds to start with. But the other point is that if you cannot, then I would expect you are able to reset to some extent the skill tree. And what I've seen in most games, and I would expect it's going to be the same, is that you can go one step back for free And if you want to go two step backs to change completely the direction, you have a very small fee in gems or something like this. The main point being that the point is not for players to be able to level up only one of their commanders on every aspect and then basically just pick whatever they want, whatever they need um, without any disadvantage for it. The idea is if you stick to one direction with a commander, you can go back if you decide you've made a mistake, etc. But the idea is not for people to constantly be resetting and restarting everything from scratch in the skill tree so that they can just at any time and whatever the balancing have the best commander available because they can just reset and use whatever is needed at the moment. But again, it's a bit too early for me to answer to that. I will need a bit more details before I can confirm that more clearly, I would say. So it seems like so far we don't have problems anymore with the Void Piercer Power Stone. I hope will stay this way. After Zuriel, we will move to Testoviron. We have Instica, the Keylogger, NIP 007, and we're moving on. Zuriel is almost number 20 out of the 67 players we had left because we had to stop in the meantime. So it's a bit of a mess, uh, but I know how to know. Yeah, at the moment we have 48 players left. So we're not halfway through, but not too far from it. Yeah, does that did I answer your question, Scar, with what I mentioned? It's the fight of the displacers. I liked how my golem ended up on the other side of the battlefield, and for 1 second it looked left and right like, what am I doing here? Where are the opponents? I never realized that before. Yeah, so as you can see, quite a few people now have 2 level 6 artifacts. Um, we're slowly getting there. In case some of you didn't see, with the last patch notes, we've also, so with the start of the era and the season, we've also changed and made a few of the. Sorry, yeah, I was reading Scars and Sword in the meantime. Let's take things in order. So um, yeah, I lost what I was saying, so that's okay. We'll get back to it. Scar, just to answer to you, yeah, you say you'll never expected the rollback in the skill tree or something like this to be free, but just having to the ability to do it is always good. Yeah, I think so too. It's something that makes sense and it's present in most games, so I don't see why there wouldn't be any option for that. But yeah, that's still details that we'll need to get through. But that's what I can understand from what was shared so far, indeed. Yeah, and so I was saying for the artifacts, we have increased, buffed the second attunement of a few artifacts that were a bit too low after the artifacts changes. So at this point, the second attunements should be good for most of the artifacts now. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make before I completely lost what I was saying. Okay. Outside of that, I know some of you were wondering the other day where we where are we with other features, other IDs, other stuffs like obviously the clan wars, but also stuffs like the merchant, etc. So I would like to give you an update on those topics a bit. For the clan wars, the main thing is we want the commander feature to be ready before we and finish the final design of the clan wars and start fully the development. The main reason for that is given that the commander will have an impact on how the clan war works, some of the details in the design of the clan wars wouldn't make sense to be worked on now and then changed because of the commanders. So that's why we decided to do it this way. But also, as I said earlier, we need the commanders out to move on ultimately from the topic of the new UI. But for the clan wars, I can um, bring back what you guys already know about from our previous fight night. The plan is to have first a rather basic clan war system where you can pick the you can pick the player in the opposite clan that you want to attack. The closer to your own score and higher difficulty than you pick, the more points you score for your team. There's an amount of points that your team need to score in order to win the clan war against the other clan. Or if we get to the end of the timing and no one was able to reach this amount of points, then it's the team that had the most points between the two that will win this clan war. Those clan wars would go in succession during a certain duration of an event, and that leads to a leaderboard with specific rewards for everyone. This leaderboard also helps the matchmaking because the higher you rank as you go, the more likely you are to face clans at your exact same position. The main thing that would be different in the clan wars than with your regular fights is that you would still be facing fights like you currently see on the screen, but you would have a tower to defend on um, uh, it will be a tower to defend on your side of the screen and to attack on your opponent's screen. The idea is if you are able to kill this tower, you get extra points. If you are able to defeat the army but not the tower, you get less points. And if you're able to kill neither, then you have pretty much no points. But that's the idea. What it will change is that some people will build their defensive build just in order to defend their own tower. Some others will build it in a way that you attack your opponent's tower even when you're in defensive mode. So that should create some more different builds. It's not going to be revolutionary compared to what you know because that's the core of the game and you cannot really change it too drastically. But this tower defense that you have to defend should be bringing something a bit different to the table. Sky, you're asking if we have any news about the Monty Python killer bunny boss. It's way off, but it could be funny for April Fools. Implies an unblockable, unavoidable fear effect when it gets within a certain range. I think it's a super cool idea. I know we joked about it already in the past. At the moment, I don't think we have plans yet for the next global red boss. We will have more global or just red bosses design coming, but at the moment it's not too clear when that will come because we want to focus on the key features that we need to bring out this year. So as I was mentioning, the goal for the moment would be to still have the clan wars released this year. So we would have we finish the UI, we bring the commander feature, then we'll be starting to work solely on the clan wars with a few very small stuffs as well that could come, sorry. And then we would see next year, most likely, we might be focusing more on the content, so changing the bosses and such. And that could be a very good idea, to be honest, to have something fear based. It's a good concept. We simply need to find the time and the resources to work on that over other options, but it's definitely a valid suggestions to go there. So out of the smaller elements that we are still considering to bring this year, one of them is um, the merchant that you guys already heard about quite a few times. As a reminder, we're talking about a small event that allows you to exchange pretty much every resources in the game against something else, but not in a way that you can exchange whatever you want. The way it would work is the merchant will make you some propositions. So sometimes you will be happy with the offers of the merchant and you will exchange things. Sometimes you will go check the offer and decide it's not for you. You will be able to renew the offers or wait for the next ones to show up after a certain amount of time. If you want to renew the offer right away, probably I would expect that you will be able to do it once a day for free by watching an ad, and then you will only be able to do it by using gems, or maybe not once a day, but once per offer. So let's say you had, I don't know, let's say the offers are changing every 6 hours. You would be able every 6 hours to use an ad to change them, and then you have to wait or you have to buy to use gems to clear that up, and otherwise you come back 6 hours later and you have your new offers. So that's the merchant system. It's still something we hope to have coming out this year. It's not guaranteed because again, since we want the commander bonuses and the clan wars, it's not even sure if they will be released by the end of the year or very early next year or such. But that's so far what we aim at. It's the end of the year. And those would be pretty much the biggest features we released in the game since we took over. So it's something big and massive. And there we go, another crashes, another crash. Oh, and sorry guys. Sorry folks, I also have a brand new phone and it seems I was not in silence mode. So definitely, I told you when we started this stream that it was going to be a weird stream, and it's being weird on every possible account. Okay, so let's get back into it. Again, very annoying those crashes, but we know it's coming. I should be able to confirm to you very soon that it's sorted. Are things working for Jam? Should be, but let's see. Okay, it seems to be working now. Okay, so let's hope we won't have another crash before the end of the stream. Hopefully that will do. Sorry, folks. Just like earlier, I'm checking that everything is working as it should. Yeah, those kind of crashes it always get me. Even if I know that it's not linked to the performance of the stream or anything like this, anytime it happens, I feel the need to go and check a few data and make sure that everything is still fine on our side. Okay, so let me recheck who was it that we were fighting when the crash took place. I'm not sure you'd be allowed to compensate yourself for multiple constant crashes. Well, the thing is, you know, compensating myself wouldn't be a problem because if you look at the number of gems that there are on these accounts, I really doubt I would need it. But yeah, so that was against Black Hat that we had the issue. So let's just check, just for safety, that everything is fine with Black Hat and that he received what he should. Also, I can now hear my dog screaming because again, it's a weird stream today, you know. Okay, so where are you, Black Hat? There you go. Okay, let me check if you received what you should. So far, everyone received what they should after the crash, but prefer to check. Yes, okay, everything is fine there. Cool. At least we don't have to be worried about that. Can you borrow some? Well, the thing is, you're using the wrong word here because if you borrow them, that means you have to give them back, right? So that means you can use those gems, but you will have to give them back. Now, if you're asking if you can get those gems and give them back with interest, maybe there's a new feature we should create, you know, like a bank that you can borrow some gems from and you need to give them back with some interest. Yeah, not sure players would like it too much to have this really modern world capitalism in the game. That might be a bit too much. So I think it's probably not to Battle Legend Shark loans. Yeah, the Shark loans, that's an option. Yeah, no, I was gonna say I hope that it's not too loud for you. I have one of my dogs that is barking. Yeah, he's chasing birds pretty much. He's very good at catching birds. Sadly, we have a lot of birds in our garden. We have a very small garden, but for whatever reason, there are tons of birds in this area. And yeah, one of our dogs is a bit too good at catching some of them. Luckily, it's not too often and it's not too many. But yeah, I do check sometimes when I hear him be barking too much and being too excited because really often that means either it's a poor lizard or it's a poor bird that got caught, sadly. So I hope it's not the case here. I don't think so because I still see him chasing. So I guess he didn't catch anything. Hopefully it stays this way. Okay, so now we have Narcissus. So yeah, I'm gonna forget about the shark loans discussion, Scar. I'm not gonna bring that up to the game team. I don't want to give them any wrong ideas about loaning players gems that they have to uh, pay back with interest. I don't want to talk about that with them. So I will pretend this discussion never existed if that's fine by you. My worst was one of my cats bringing me a live pigeon. That was an interesting thing to wake up flying around your room. Yeah, I mean, a few times it happens that his cats were not dead, and luckily, most of the time when that happens, I was lucky enough to be in a situation where they would leave. We had especially, I didn't see him for a while, so I guess, I mean, I don't know what's the life expectancy of a lizard, but there was one lizard in our court that the dogs were chasing, and at one point they managed to catch his tail. As you know, lizard tails go off, but this time not really. It seems like it only partly fell off. It was still attached to the poor little guy buddy, so he escaped. And after a few months, I started to see a lizard with two tails in our garden. And he was an escape artist because anytime he would see my dog, he would run like crazy. And he realized that instead of trying to hide in corners or in dark places, etc., the best way to escape them was just to jump in the grass because since he's a bit greenish or brownish, they couldn't spot him in the grass. So sometimes I would just be in my living room. I would turn my head and I can see a lizard going straight and jumping into the grass, but like an angel jumping into it with his two tails. So I knew it was always the same little guy that was last summer. I'm not sure any lizard can go and live more than a year in the wild for those type of very small lizards. So I'm not sure if he's still around, but yeah, I'll keep an eye out because it was quite exceptional to see this. Yeah, a tail of two tails. That was it. To see a two tails lizard in your garden was fun. We also have in here we have a type of lizard. I'm not sure what's their American name. Let me check. Um, they are very specific. The to the southwest of France and north of Spain. And in French, we call them Tarente de Mauritanie. And it's pretty much, apparently in English, it's a Moorish gecko. So yeah, I mean, it's a gecko, obviously, but it's a gecko style. But I didn't know uh, if it's anywhere else. Yeah, it seems to be mostly Mediterranean, a bit of North Africa. Oh, it's been introduced in the US, in Americas now, so you should find it now in the US as well. It's what they call the common wall gecko kind of thing, and those are super cute and super fast. And we have a family of those living in our garage. For the longest time, I could only hear them when I was walking into the garage. I could hear them on the uh, you know, we have some wood on the top of the garage, and I could hear them uh, running onto it. But last week, actually, I managed to catch or to see them because one of them went outside, and it was next to a window that is just near. Yeah, well, you can see it on the screen right now. There's a window there, and I could see my dog being completely crazy in front of the window. So I knew there was something behind that window, and I could see the little gecko there. And so I tried to go outside on my own just to take a picture and to let it go, obviously. But when I arrived, it went so fast. It's incredibly fast. So yeah, I didn't manage to take any picture or whatever, but I was already happy to know that I managed to see them because we've been in this house for 5 years with my wife, and it's the first time I can finally see one of them, even though we know we have at least two of them in our garage. So yeah, yeah, in Italy, in the north of Italy, and in Italy in general, you could see a fair amount of those geckos. But usually, I don't know. In my case, the ones that I have here, so the really brownish ones, I've always found them very hard to see, and usually, lizards see them all the time, but those ones not so much. And the other ones that we have in the south of France, at least, but I think it's the same in Italy and in other places, are the big green one. Um, the Uh, the greenish geckos, very big ones that we have in some houses, and those are super super cute. And yeah, those ones you can see them usually because they're so big that when you see one, you know that you cannot miss it anyway. Okay, so I'm checking where we stand. Okay, I can see my dog is running back home, and he seemed disappointed. So I think he didn't manage to catch anything. Okay, so we have about 12 players left now because we're midway to the at the end of the fight with Blazerdo. So we will have Sakura, Benuzet, Swarm, Small. We have quite a few players still to go, around 12, as I said. Hey, look who's here. I knew you would be coming to salute us because you would be feeling a bit hot and tired. Come on, say hi to everyone. Oh, big guy. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. You don't like to be on that chair because that chair is moving, and that's scary, right? So here's the chaser. His name is Milos. He's a Podenco, so it's a breed of Spanish hounds. And yeah, he's a rescue puppy, rescue dog. He's not a puppy anymore because he's going to be 8 next month. And we got him for 4.5 years now, right? Okay, okay, I let you down. I know you don't like it. No, the stream is complete. He didn't catch a bird, but he caught the stream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not the first time. I think he's been on the stream once or twice. My other dog is a female Shiba Inu, and this one, she was only in either the last stream or the one before that because she decided she wanted to sleep on the couch behind me. But other than that, you never see her. I think either she doesn't like when I'm speaking English, or she just simply doesn't want to be with me all day long because that's the way the Shibas are in general. Okay, so yeah, you cannot see it, but it just decided that the best option was just to sit, to lay down here, cool off a little. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about what else is supposed to come next, where do we stand on any topic that I didn't grant any updates about, feel free to let me know because, yeah, we have just 10 players left at this point. Just a reminder that, as I was saying earlier, we will be sharing with you guys a survey between today and tomorrow to talk about the new UI and get your feedback. We already collected quite some feedback on Discord, but for those of you that are not necessarily spending so much time on Discord, or for those that will be on Facebook, etc., we will be sharing it a bit everywhere and trying to collect a bit more feedback on the UI, the elements that you like, the elements you don't like, the element you want to see changed, etc. So you will have some ways to share some more feedback with us, and hopefully, yeah, we'll soon get the UI to be as good as possible. One thing I wanted to address regarding the UI in general is that I know some of you are not necessarily always happy with some of the small choices that are kind of either preferences or getting used to it. There are stuffs that are very valid as a feedback, like trying to minimize the back and forth between the different elements of the UI, etc. That's definitely valid. There are some stuff that are more down to preferences, and for the things that are really just preferences, it might be a bit tough for us to find a solution that will please everyone without just making it the old UI again. Um, but we'll do our best. I cannot say that we are going to please absolutely everyone with the decisions we'll take, but we'll do our best to make as many of you happy as we can in the way the UI is working. So we're already fighting Guinella. Those fights are going fast right now. Okay, so let's see who we'll have after that. We will have from Russia with Love, White at Drakaya, and Leyland. Thought might be to have a toggleable option to add a drop-down menu with all the different sections in. Give the new UI options, but also a quicker way for it if it bother people. Yeah, so there are different things, but the main thing that people seems to be complaining about with the new UI is the back and forth, for example, to check your wagons status, or some back and forth to go in and out of the shop, or those kind of things. And that's fully understandable, and we're looking at solutions for that. For example, for the wagons, the main concern we have is that changing the place of the wagons again will make the lobby screen, so where you land, even less um, valuable and more annoying for people if they have to land on that, even though they spend all of their time in the PvP screen, they won't get why it's not leading them to there directly. So we have this problematic there. Also, with the wagons, the other problem is if we change where they are, we need to change as well the tutorial that is now created for this new UI quite a fair bit. So one thing we're looking into for the wagons is to have a notification system. This way, you don't need to do the back and forth, etc., because you get notified in the PvP screen as well when a new wagon is available. This way, you don't have to do tons of back and forth. You just do it once. The other thing we're looking at is to allow you, for example, when you're in PvP, to go directly to the lobby screen. Right now, you need to go back to the game mode and then to the lobby screen. If we can bypass that so that you can decide to go to the lobby screen or to the game mode hub, then that would already make a big difference because that would already lower quite a fair bit the number of tabs that people have to do without needing too many changes to the way things are running. So there are a few things like this we're looking at to solve the main problems that players reported, and slowly we'll get to a point where most of those issues at least have a solution offered to them. Okay, so we are now fighting Leilang. Leilang is our last player. So that will pretty much be it for today. Again, there will be news on Discord as soon as possible regarding the fix for the crashes with the Void Piercer Power Stone. And we will also have the news regarding the feedback for the new update shared with you guys as soon as possible. We're not quite there yet, but we'll get there quite soon. And yeah, that finishes on the defeat, which I was quite expecting, but it's still never fitting to close on that. So just a second, let me close the event, make sure everyone gets their reward. There we go. Okay, so on my side, that will pretty much be it for today. I wish every single one of you a good evening, a good late afternoon as well, because it's still quite early, based on the fact that this stream was at a different time than usual. We'll talk to each other very soon, and up until then, have a wonderful time, enjoy the game, and we'll get back to you with some updates for the crashes and the feedback on stream, feedback survey for the new UI, sorry. And yeah, that's about it for now. Have a great day, and we'll talk to each other soon. Bye.